Hey there guys, and welcome back. So, as stated in the title, we will be doing some party favor thingies. I'm not going to whiteboard this because frankly we're going to just run at it and make things work. One of those things, I've been meaning to stream over break, or not over break, but over New Year's and the holidays, and I just kept on getting dragged into, well, not dragged into, I kept on getting myself into random projects, and I just kept on forgetting, honestly. So I want to kind of just dive in here and get us to designing. So the first thing that I'm designing here is one of those ratchet clangers. Basically, we'll have a spur gear in the middle here. We're going to have a little bit of filament in here on the inside, and then the filament going against the ratchet clanger, against the spur gear, will make a noise. Ideally, that's how it's going to work out. So far, I've got this right here, which should be the handle. I've got an offset here for the outside of the case, and then this is just the other end. They come in all different shapes and sizes. I've decided to go with this kind. Basically, by making this end bigger, we're more or less creating a counterweight on the other end, right? Which should give it some momentum. Also, for the record, my throat is, for whatever reason, all of a sudden all sorts of hoarse. Don't know what I did to it, so take a quick drink of water and then get back to it. Alright, hopefully this clears up. Meanwhile, the overall size of it, overall design of this one is, we'll have 3 parts to it. I'm pretty sure, well, 4 parts to it. We'll have 4 parts to it. We'll have what I keep on calling the filament, but the flag, the tang, whatever the heck you want to call it, in the inside that will be rubbing against the spur gear. We'll have the outside case, the lid to the case, and then the spur gear on a rod. So that should be 4 parts, assuming I can count. If I can't count, then we got a little bit of problem. As far as how I will be designing this, I figured we'd be alright like this. The real question is just comes down to dimensions. So I'm thinking the spur gear is probably going to have to be about 2 inches, 50 millimeters in diameter. That's just kind of my base instinct here. The modules need to be kind of deep, I think, in order to properly rub against the flag on the inside. And I'm going to just keep on calling it something different each and every single time. Then you're going to need the, you're going to need a bit of meat on the inside, and you're going to need the stem coming out the bottom. And that should be everything, like the total size that we need. I don't think there needs to be any extra size. So the real question is, okay, let's say 25 millimeters, maybe 30 millimeters for the stem. And then I said that we were at 50 millimeters for the outside. I should probably draw one more concentric circle in here for the outside radius of the ratchet. So there's 50 millimeters. And then this one. So this is going to be our clearance on the inside. So let's call this 6 millimeters. And then this rod, like I was saying, like 30. So that's where we're at right now. Next thing to keep in mind is the space that we have on our actual print bed, because this is getting a little bigger. Give me half a second. I got a text message to respond to. I'm being asked how to make hot wings. Garlic, onion powder. Totally has nothing to do with the design. But let's see. All right, I have that sent out. Back to this. So, really quick, just sanity check. This is what I was going, where I was going with this. I just want to, because again, going to be a little bit on the big side. I just want to sanity check that we are not going to go outside of 200 millimeters here. There's that. Actually, I guess I'll just drag it in place. Alright, and then this, because we can decide how big this is going to be. So this is 30, 50, 80, 80 and 12 is 92. So 92 and 120. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so I guess let's try 120. And if I drag this out like this. Whoops, you are not. Tangent. There we go. I'm just trying to think proportionally. Again, these can be any shape. This is just kind of the shape that I remember. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so that kind of fits. I probably should just drop this down a little bit more to be safe. And then we can just decide on this distance here. Let's try it at just 100. Alright, and that looks like that all fits onto a build plate, so I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that. And we can get to the actual work. So, first off, I think I will start with the spur gear. There's no way to do this based on outside diameter, right? Doesn't look like it. So, no helix angle, 0. This is the thickness, so I'm gonna go ahead and say 18, 20, 20. Let's call 20. And I just hit enter, which was not my intention, but that actually doesn't look too bad. So let's Control Z. Whoops, not that. Redo that. I do want the module a little bit deeper. So let's go 6. Outside diameter 108 is way too big. Where's my preview? I don't believe either of these. Actually, you know what? Okay. 3. Alright, this. Oh, wait, it will take 3. Okay, gotcha. Okay, in that case, if we can adjust that, those aren't really settings I've ever worked with, but that does mean that we can bring this back down. Because we're doing that. I mean, they look a little flimsy, but probably not bad enough. And what's our internal diameter here? Base diameter 45. So again, I was talking about 30. I figured 30 was good on the interior there, so that is looking all right. We are extending a little past the target that I had put it there. We could try dropping the addendum back down. We don't really need the points on it, right? I don't think we need the points on it, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. More questions about how to make rings, and back to this. So I'm going to accept that for the time being. And let us go ahead and drag this guy forward. And I want to go ahead and project that guy. We can get rid of that and make that up in here just to get our updated. Alright, cool. Let's see. I'm gonna grab this guy, and I don't normally do this, but we should be able to do ground. Is that what I'm thinking it is? Nope, it's not. Okay. Grounding is not what I was thinking of. I know in sketches there's a way to lock stuff in place. I just want to make sure it doesn't move is the only problem. So, probably I'm just not going to worry about it. Let's now take this stuff, and I do want to leave that hole there. Actually, you know what? While I'm at it, I should add in for the flag holder. And actually, we're going to make this a square hole. That way I don't have to worry about locking the flag in place. So, how big does it need to be? I think just 10. I don't think it needs to be much bigger than that. Even that is probably a little bit bigger than it needs to be. Alright. So this is going to go... Let me think really quick. I'm thinking about this hole right here. So that hole obviously is for the stem on the spur gear. I should probably throw it in right now. The only question is, what was my mechanism? I had an idea for how to have that locked in there. Oh, I think it's just, I think I just figured that the lid would keep it down, and that's all that really mattered. Yeah, that was my rationale. So let's go ahead and we're going to do two-sided here. Because the, let's see, two object, or actually no, this one is distance. So this one is 3, so I wanted 3 on the floor. And then two object plus 3. Or maybe plus 4. Yeah, let's just plus 4. And this is going to be a new component. Okay. And we'll hop back in here. So that's the body. Let me just have that available. Not this guy. Let's turn you off for a second. That guy. And I'm just going to grab that profile and close the top. -3. I did that, but is that really necessary? Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to hollow this out anyway. Yes, it is necessary though. It is necessary because otherwise I'd have a weird hollow. So 3 millimeters. Hollow out like that. That's exactly what it occurred to me would happen. So I really shouldn't have done those holes to begin with. Is what it comes down to. And we'll delete that. And shell that like I wanted to. And now we can go for the lid -3. New component. Lid. And we just projected that back out. And actually, I'll just take the body. Let's turn that because that's all I really need. Okay. And I think I'm gonna just do little squares. I don't think I'm gonna make this complicated with clips. I think I'm just gonna toss some of these guys in to hold it in place. And may as well do that. Use that dot since it's there. Actually, I can pattern around, yeah. Let's try that out. I don't normally do that, so this will be a fun experiment. Turn the body off and then extrude. 3. Okay. And then let's grab that sketch again. Distance all. And let's see how well this works. So we're going to pattern that feature around here. We are going to path direction it. And we are going to do spacing. And let's see what happens. 50. Actually, let's go starting position 1 so we're going the other direction. And I will try to go half, I think, is what I will try to do. Alright, let's see what that looks like, and then we will mirror that to get the other half, was the idea. Features, that assumes, yeah, it should work. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. Identical. And we also need the initial one. Alright. Alright. We are missing one on this edge here, so I guess I will just go ahead and put that in separately. Toss that in. Go to there, and then we can just make sure that those are equidistant. Actually, let's do this. Divided by 2. That divided by 2. Okay. And then we can come back in and extrude that last one. Distance all. Okay. And now we come back up here to the body, turn the body on, and we'll just combine him with that other body to get the cutouts. Keep tools, cut, okay. Alright, and now we can go back to cutting those holes out. So, distance all. Oh, somehow I have more than I want, so let's turn that off. And I'll cut the other one out next, because I actually want to cut both bodies on this one. Objects to cut. Symmetrical. Nope, two-sided. Two object there. Two object here. And that did not work. Two object here. Reselect the profile. Profile. There we go. Cut. Alright, now we just need a couple other things. Let's see. I know what I wanted. We want some support for this rod, so I'm gonna toss 3mm guy right here. Up back into body, extrude that out. Body. I did this backwards. Alright, we're gonna see what happens here. Huh. Actually, how am I doing this? I know. Okay. We got this. So, originally I was gonna throw a collar down here, but this wants to be printed in this orientation, so that doesn't really work. The collar was to keep the rod stiff, so it's not wobbling around in here. Instead, what we can do is we can hop into lid. There's two ways we can do it I can think of, and I think I like the idea of just extruding a little mini rod, a mini centering rod down, and putting a hole in the gear. I think I like that better because it's easier. The other option... Nah, you know what? I like that better. Just plain easy. So, let us hop in here. I'll go ahead and reuse this sketch. Let's project out that. Turn that stuff back on. Whoops. That off. There we go. That off. There we go. That. And let's just call it 10. Alright, and now we can go ahead and extrude that. Minus... let's just call it 10. How thick was my gear? My gear was 20, wasn't it? Where's the gear at? Yeah, alright, 10 is fine then. Alright, so this can be printed in that orientation, so that is fine. We can go back to the gear and finish off the gear. So now the gear will combine with the top other direction. Right? No, I had that right. We will go ahead and toss a decent offset into here to make sure it doesn't bind up because it needs to spin freely. -1. Actually, you know what? Let's do -0.5. -1 feels sloppy. And then we can extrude out the stem. -4 inches. 100 millimeters. I think 100 millimeters is fine. -100 and join. And I wanted to see this because we got awfully close with the way we did this. It looks like it's right there. Let me turn the sketch off. Yeah, you see this? Somehow, that is right there. I wonder, hold on. Let's go back one. No, okay, it is literally right there. Okay. I'll take it. Did I update this sketch to... No, I didn't. Yeah, okay, the sketch is not referencing the... That's probably what I should have done, really. So we happen to get really lucky here. But what I probably should have done, so we don't need this anymore for the record. What I should have done is I should have projected out this edge and then tangented off of that. To get that. That way, no matter what, it's guaranteed to be right there. The only problem with that is if we do change the spur gear, and for example, this outside ring gets larger because these teeth I decide are too vulnerable. In that case, the handle would also get thicker, which we may not want. I'm doing a quick visual guess because I feel like I've done this before. I've made handles before and I've oversized them, but chances are I'm alright with the 30 millimeters. Okay, now we just have the flag left and then we are done. So, done with this one. Then after that we go to probably the kazoo thingies, whatever you call those. This is I called it a flag, I called it a filament. Clacker. I'm going to call it a clacker now. Oh, that is the other thing. One of those deals where project that. I'll try not to get caught up mid conversation, but I meant to also put it on and I forgot. If we have time, and I don't know if we'll have time because my streams never seem to go the time that I expect them to, but if we have time, what I would like to, as a bonus, I would like to do the hand clappers as well. Those should be super simple, so it's probably going to happen, but we'll see. So there's that. That's solid. Then we got that. That can be like 3, and then just toss in a rectangle here and 3 millimeters on the bottom side, 2.5 millimeters. I guess we go with 3 millimeters. So, how this is printing, this part in particular. Good old fusion double line right there. Take a shot. I'm trying to think because I wonder if I have to print this in 2 pieces. I kind of wanted to print it in 1, but it really wants to be printed upright like this. It doesn't want to be printed any other direction, as far as I can tell. We could change the geometry of this circle right here. This doesn't have to be a circle. It can be any shape we want. So in theory, it could be printed like this, up and down like this. However, generally speaking, that is not good because it's just way too unstable on the print bed. So for that reason, probably won't. It's probably best just to keep printing like this. The only issue I'm running into here is the peg, because I wanted the peg to go out both the roof and the bottom of the body, and that means that it has to be printed separately, it looks like, which is not ideal. Actually, you know what? Let us come back here. I'm gonna hop here. Okay, yeah. So, let us instead do this one-sided. Actually, you know what? Let's delete this altogether. And we'll just combine again. Use that profile. Distance. So we'll use this as our peg because this is printing upright to begin with. So we'll just go all the way up to there. and then hop in here, combine that and that, keep tools, and now for the clanger, as I've decided to call it, let us turn this stuff off. Looks like you need to be reattached. Now you will just have a hole in the center and you can slide in. That fixes that. This, it really depends how far we want to go in here. I think I'm going to call this like 2 millimeters. This is just going by looks. Don't have a good justification for that. Let's turn on the body and the lid for this one. So we will print from object, the floor, the floor, turn the body back off, to the ceiling, and then I will just toss some offsets in here to shrink it up just a little because it can have a little bit of wiggle room. It's not going to really affect it too much. That is way too much. Let's call it 2. 2 and 2. Okay. So that gets printed like that. Actually, you know what? So it would benefit from not having the bottom of the flag scrape against the floor as it's what you call it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and extrude that back out. Let's grab this sketch. And this can be printed upside down. No problem. Let's turn the body back on. Oh, whoops, wrong body. There we go. From there, distance to object here, and join. There we go. Yeah, so that will get printed upside down, and this gives it a little bit of clearance so this can move around freely. And that should be it. So let's go ahead and add in some colors, and we are done with our first little toy here. Plastico. Now the next thing, actually, once I have this colored, is I wanted to see, because it's one of those things, it is 7:35, so we have 4.5 hours ish, 4 hours 25 minutes, something along those lines, until New Year's. So I was kind of curious how much of this I could get printed if I wanted to before New Year's. And the second thing is, I should put some print offsets in here actually. I won't worry about it for right now. The second thing is seeing how much this cost, because obviously these kinds of toys are relatively cheap. So one of those deals where it may not be worth it to actually print this, but we'll find out. That's actually a funny place for it to default to. I haven't used the arcade stick prototyper in a while. Normally it defaults to either miscellaneous or fasteners sometimes. Let's see. New Year's Ratchet Noise Maker. I don't know if that's supposed to be 2 words. That's okay. Saving. Yeah, stream downloads is fine. And let me go ahead and I have Prusa Slicer up already. So just got to go to downloads and drop that in there. No. Let's get everything set up. Arrange. And where's the flag at? Oh, the flag's not going to fit. I feel like the flag should be able to fit. Prusa. I think you're just being lazy. rotate, move. Actually, if I hit it now, yeah, there we go. All right, and I'm not gonna go ahead and, so normally I would go ahead and set all this up with like the variable layer height, but let's just go ahead and hit this button and see what happens. Actually, 0.3. Two things. One, turn that off. Two, printer settings, extruder. Oh, okay, so this version is not set up, this profile, I should say. This profile is not set up for my 0.6mm nozzle. That shouldn't change the filament cost. It obviously does change the print time by a bit. So, alright, so the answer here is because it is this large, I would not be able to get this done. And honestly, it's one of those things, this is probably mostly the handle is my guess. And the cost is nearly $5. Assuming that my costs are set up at a reasonable cost. Money per kilogram, that is not accurate. $20 per kilogram. Wait. These are 2.2 pounds, right? 1 kilogram? I'm not going insane here, right? It doesn't say on my sticker. Quick check. Amazon.com. 1.75 PETG filament. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, right? Yes. Okay, cool. So $20 is my nice round number. You can obviously get it for cheaper, but that is the number that I tend to go with. Okay, so $3.40. Let's do a quick search for ratchet noise maker. Okay, so over here on the internets, I see some expensive ones. Let's see. Do we have any cheap plastic ones? Okay, so these are really small. These look very small to me, so I'm not going to use that as a price. 4 pieces, 4 is $6 a piece. So actually, we may be saving money here. All of these are wood, though. I was looking for some cheap plastic ones. Let's check the rest of the internet. Do I not have... Do plastic ones just not exist? I know plastic ones exist. Here we go. So that is 20 for 24. So I, for some reason, also can't do math. 24 divided by 20 should be like $2, right? Or 10, what? $1.20. There we go. Yes, I cannot do math on air. So there's some for $1.20. Again, these are really small. Why can I not find... I would think that like Party City or Walmart would have these. That would be my assumption. Why? Walmart has the wooden ones, but again, the wooden ones aren't really... Party City. Let's see. Goodbye, thank you. Yeah, these hand things, these are the clappers that I was talking about before, if we have time for them. Do they not make these anymore? Do I not have the right word here? The right verbiage? What's the other thing? Oriental... Trading company? Is that right? I think that's right. Go away. Go away. Whistles. Whistles are not what I'm looking for. Alright, well, evidently these things don't exist anymore. I don't know why. Maybe they were weaponized. Maybe they were weaponized and are now banned everywhere. That's kind of it, but that's like, it looks to be very, very large. It says giant. Huh, I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked. Shopping. Let me double check this tab really quick. We saw those 20s, but let's go a little bit deeper. 65, good. Good. $9 on Etsy. I'm guessing that's 3D printed. Let's see, can we get a zoom in? Can I zoom in? Yeah, 3D printed noisemaker toys. It's funny because crap. Frankly, this design is kind of lame, honestly, and that seems to be the only design around anymore. The ones that we saw over at the other place where it was like a 20 pack, wherever that was at, that's the design that I more or less remember growing up with. Again, I recall there being a couple other design shapes, but an enclosed area is what I recall. And I don't know, evidently they just fell out of fashion, I guess. So, that being said, aside from the $1.20 ones, which I don't have the actual size on, so maybe they were smaller, compared to the wooden ones that are probably about this size, and significantly simpler, it looks like we're doing pretty good on price. Granted, it's still $4 and still kind of expensive in my personal opinion, but that is the first one done. I am going to get really quick BRB for 1 second, and then we will get on to the next one. Text. Let's see. Noisemaker. I'm gonna spell it like that just for the heck of it. So BRB. All right, and we are back. So, let me get the BRB off there. This next one, the kazoo thingies, I'm not 100% sure on these ones. I was pretty sure about the noisemaker. Let me just see if I can get a better picture. I was 99% sure about the Ratchet one. That one seemed easy to me. This one I'm a little less sure on. So we're going to wing it, and when I will print this one out. I definitely will print this one out. The Ratchet one, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to just commit to printing them all out, just make sure they work. But, this one I'm going to print out first. And I think, if I'm thinking about this correctly, it's not going to be too complex. The biggest problem is just kind of geometry. How the geometry works. I believe, and I was kind of hoping that I'd find a better picture of this. I'm browsing on the other tab really quick, but I'm not really seeing pictures. I'm pretty sure, though, not to beat around the bush any further, basically what we're going to end up with is a geometry like this, where we got a narrow tongue here, and I'm going to go ahead and make this 1.5, and let's get it centered. Basically, all I'm pretty sure it does, all it's composed of, is just this thing bouncing off two opposing walls in order to make a noise. I think that's all it really comes down to. And the only real question comes down to how big everything should be. And actually, an additional question is whether or not, because I haven't considered this, but there's a possibility that with this design, we could actually throw a couple of them in here, and I wonder how that would affect it. So, really quick doing a sanity check here, mentally in my mind, because I kind of need to print it like this. Let me go ahead and just get our print set up. This is how, oh, come on, give me that plane. Thank you. Let's go 75, let's say 75. And then, wait, how are we facing right? I want to be facing bottom. Front, top. All right. Bottom. Let's go 25. And then top. I said 75 before, right? I mean, I kind of feel like 20, so maybe the bottom needs to be bigger than 25. Sketch, turn that off. Concentric. Let's start at 20 and see what this looks like. So this is the orientation that I wanted to print it at. Okay? And then we can hollow this out like this. So printing up and down like that. My problem is that the flange, I'm pretty sure, has to be printed with the loose end down here. Unless I'm not thinking of this correctly. And if it is printed with the loose end down here, maybe. So there's a couple things that are a little bit troublesome with this, okay? The first thing is that, back to, if I'm making this 1.5 millimeters, let's go ahead and just start up another sketch. Grab that. If I'm making this little flange in here 1.5 millimeters, it really needs to be printed on its side instead of straight up and down. So that being the case, it kind of needs to be removable at that point. So I actually need to make this a multi-part print in theory. Huh. Yeah, again, as I said, this was not one of those. This was out of the 3 designs, 3/4, depending on what I have time for. This was one of the designs that I was more questionable on, but I figured. I kind of figured that once I started looking at it, I might get it, was the hope. And it's turning out that that's not really. Doesn't look like that's really going to be the case. Blowout noisemaker. Teardown. Can I put teardown in here? Teardown. No. Does not look like it. Oh, actually, hold on. Here is. Let's see, what is this? I just found a DIY thing. Okay, this is just using a plastic diaphragm, though, and then putting a hole in the plastic diaphragm, which is not the same thing I was doing here. Just investigating, hoping to see something that will spark some understanding here, and unfortunately, I'm not really seeing it. So let's see. What can we do to make this work then? Yeah, alright, so I guess I'm going to scrap this for the time being. We may circle back to this one. I'm not seeing a real good way to 3D print this, is the problem. If it works the way that I think it does. So, in that case, we are going to go ahead and move on to what was the third thing I was going to do? Oh yeah, the party popper. So party popper is not going to use explosives, for the record. We are going to attempt something a bit different. And I think so. It's one of those things where I'm probably going to go ahead and make this as simple as possible in order to guarantee a success here. Because I was thinking of a couple different ways of doing this, and I thought I had a pretty interesting way of doing it, but then I started going over it a bit more, and I was like, I'm not sure if that's going to work. So, what we're going to do here, let's make this one, so this is going to be the opening. I'm going to go ahead and have be, do we want to do 75 or 50? 75 or 50. Alright, so I'm going to go 75. I know that they make party poppers that are a bit smaller. Let me just pull up some pictures here. Images. Alright, here we go. So, skip the guns. So yeah, like these guys are really small, right? These guys are really small. I kind of want to go a bit bigger. So we're going to go with the 70. Something like this, something like these guys are probably more like 25 even, not even 50. Oh, actually, we have a picture right here. Okay, so that one says it's 50 right there. So, actually, that's interesting. What's the spring mechanism on here? Oh, hand push party poppers. Okay, so you just build up pressure by pushing on it, and then it finally snaps and goes? Okay, that's interesting. Alright, go away. 75 is where we're at, though. And I'm gonna just do the same exact thing we did before, but this time, whoops, that was, let's see, so 25. So I think I'm gonna leave 25 for storage area for the propel or the ammunition, let's say. So 25 millimeters for the ammunition, and I feel like we should go with something like 50 millimeters past that. So let's go 75. And I am going to go ahead and make this actually bare. Let's do that. And you'll see where I'm going with this in just a second. Hold on. I just realized it made sense in my mind, and I'm realizing that it may be a bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Okay. I'm going to modify it. So the idea I had in my mind was a bit more complicated. We are going to stick with simple here. We're going to just go ahead and make this a cylinder back here. Okay, cool. Good deal. Okay, and then look at me, look at me. I'm the party popper now. Let's see. I guess I will do... Where's my search bar? Thank you. This and then this. That was the good old Fusion double line. Thank you, Fusion. Alright, toss that and that. I guess really quick, let me go ahead and extrude the body just for you guys to see where we're at. That is not... Whoops. Derp. And we'll change this to direction and direction. Actually, you know what? I probably shouldn't do that one. Let's just loft that guy and then extrude. Distance to object. Alright, fine. We'll do this the other way, if you're going to be a pain in my butt. And then... millimeters. Okay. Yeah, alright. So, probably shouldn't... I like the loft here just for the outside look, but... Probably shouldn't... do the shell. Probably should just come back up in here. Grab this sketch. Let's see. To object. This plane. That plane. And then -3. We'd probably do it this way. Fusion. You really gonna give me difficulties here? See, worked that time. All right, and then now I can do 3 here. Or maybe not. Nah, it's not gonna want to print like that. All right. I surrender. Let us turn that off. Do that. Extrude. To object. And then -3. Okay, there we go. And now let us come back to this sketch that I was working on. Project out that guy again. And then toss these air bubbles in here. Let's call that 30 degrees. And we'll call each of these 3 millimeters. 3 millimeters. And actually, you know what? Maybe I don't do that. Maybe we do this. That is not the one I wanted. There we go. And then this. Just delete that. Tangent to that. And we should be able to come, yeah, we can come back in here. Oh, wait. I actually, whoopsies. Tangent to the wrong thing. Okay. Tangent to that. There we go. And what I was looking at was, and this is why doing it tangent the other way wasn't working. Do this, do that, do tangent, and tangent. And I think that's all I need. So, let's grab that's oh, I don't have extrusion up, that's why. Profile and profile. Distance all. Distance all. There we go. And then we can first pattern along path. Features that. Select path that. Spacing 0. Or 1, I guess, because we're going the other direction. And then spacing is should be 6. Huh, and then we flip back around. No, that's right. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Except it's not following that line. Let's see if I can do this. Nope. Okay. There are 2 things here. One, we can actually see how this works, and that will be fine. So, next up was a circle pattern. That guy and that guy. Around that. I was hoping to cheat here, is what was going on. I'm gonna hit OK. It looks like I'm gonna have to cheat a little differently. Yeah, see, that works out just fine. And then body, that, body, distance all. Okay. Circle pattern. Circle pattern. Actually, no. Pattern along path is what I wanted. That. Select that. 1, 6. Spacing 6. Okay. Then we come back in here. Get rid of this. Which one? That one? No, that should be the right one. So it should be this one. Let's see. Now I can. We know that we have 12 here, right? So that would make this 30 right here, which would make this 15. Or I should just do that divided by 2 to be safe. And 360 divided by 12. And in theory, if I was using parameters, that'd be better. But now we circular pattern that and that around that thing again. And we know we have 12. And there we go. That did not work out. Let's see. What do I think went wrong? Oh, is it 11? Is that what went wrong? 11? 13? Plus 1? Looks like it was plus 1. Because lines and spaces, I should have one more space than I have lines. So that'd be 12 plus 1 is 13. Makes sense. Okay. The next thing is I'm going to go ahead and actually set that up because I feel like that's a little too many holes. So circle hole pattern, no units, and 10. Okay. Change this one to, wait, is that actually 13? I thought that was 12. Okay, circle hole patterns. Evidently, I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess because it's a circle. So normally when you have lines and spaces, you have an extra space at the end. But because this is a circle, the end is actually the beginning. So I guess that's why. And these guys went the wrong direction. Start point of 1. And can we fit a 4th one in there now? Okay. Next thing. Actually, you know what? We probably should bring that back because what really should happen here is, let's see these holes. This actually should be a line like this instead of that. That was a little bit of a mistake on my part. So that is tangent to there. Then you go in. And you are tangent to there. And then again, this line pattern really hates me for whatever reason. I don't think I'm gonna fit one more in there. All right. So there is that, and then what I was going to do here is do I still think that 2 inches is fine? I think it is. So I am going to come up here to that plane, project this out. Okay, is that the right thing? That is awfully low resolution. Hexagon circle there. All right. Toss in this guy and this guy. Get these guys centered up. And then show you what these guys are here for. So centered. Centered. This will be tangent to that. And we can make this like 5. It doesn't have to be that big, but the other one. And I always forget how big rubber bands are, but the other one's for rubber bands. So let me grab a rubber band. Give it. Alright. I think rubber bands, these rubber bands I've got are 6, if I remember correctly, but I don't trust my memory, so let's see. Yeah, they're a little over 6 actually. So we will go ahead and use 7 as our size then, so that we have extra space. 7. And you are also going to be tangent. And then we finish sketch. We go ahead and highlight all that. Body, distance to object. There we go. Cut that out. So that's the slot for the rubber band. Next question is, how do we want to retain the rubber band? Better question is, I was thinking this and I didn't really go with it. I didn't worry too much about it. But yeah, I guess it prints on this side. Yeah, it still prints face down. Yeah. That way you have less material to remove, less support material. Alright, so that is that. So that's the rubber band holder, and then we go ahead and... Actually, you know what? I should extrude both of them at the same time. I'm going to need them anyway, so... Up. Make sure we have profile selected. Select that guy, okay. And then come back here. Grab this guy again. Grab the... Actually, let's just grab everything and then we'll fix it. Then we'll fix our selections. Rather than trying to eyeball this like that, we will turn off the body. That should make it easier. Should being the operative word. My graphics card evidently has decided to make everything a hexagon and not draw curves. That is fascinating. Oh, no. I actually do want these ones over here. But I don't want these guys. I probably should have just made that outside circle a construction line, and that would have solved my problem there, but... Okay. We did not, so we are dealing with it. -4. Let's go with 4. And it looks like I did not successfully remove those guys. New body. Huh. That is funny. Okay, we are coming back in here and doing what I said I should have done in the first place, which is make that a construction line. Finish sketch. And I don't think you guys can hear that, but evidently we have started on the festivities. Somebody is already setting off fireworks, and it is 8 o'clock, 8:15. Although I suppose it is New Year's somewhere in the world. Like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, or Pacific Ocean. Atlantic Ocean. Yes, Atlantic Ocean. Wow. Geometry. Why am I still getting... Oh. It's selecting that body, isn't it? That is why. Okay. We should be good this time. And actually, that should be new component is what it should be. Okay. There we go. There we go. So, as you can see, this was my idea. Was you have a back plate here. Yeah, so we do have air. So my idea here is that we were... Huh. Okay, we can fix that. That's fine. That's fine. Let us do this. I probably want to do it on the inside like this. And this is, so I needed and I wanted an alignment mechanism, which is why we have the extra tabs that we're working with here. So we just go ahead and bring that in to be tangent to that instead. Okay, so yeah, cool. And if I come back to this guy, let's just unselect that stuff. Try to unselect that stuff. Turn that sketch on. Select that. Turn the body off so that I have an easier time here. And then we want to unselect that stuff. There we go. And we don't need that either anymore. Turn the body back on. Hit OK. So there's the rubber band, and then now we want to extrude up tabs here. So we grab that, and we grab that. Body from object here, distance to object there, and we join that. Okay, and then on this extrusion, we can deselect those guys. Attempt to deselect those guys because obviously it's not working. Actually, I guess what happened there is that it only kept the selection on one side, which is a little bit weird. Okay. And let's get some color in here to make it easier to see. Okay, so these sides are still open where the rubber band goes, but the rubber band should be closing, should be sealing those sides anyway. So that's probably fine. So, pull this back, and actually, yeah, we can add an additional feature here for the rubber band to go through on top of that. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Project out that. Okay. Construction lines, bodies, whoops, not that. Bodies. There we go. Yeah, okay, we can work with that. And then we toss this in here. Collinear. Let's just make it a little thick. Yeah. Inside circle. And by inside circle, I mean square, obviously. And the rubber band is not terribly thick, but we'll leave extra space to make it easier to get the rubber band through. And then we can even go a little bit further here. Finish. Bodies. Let's start a sketch from here. Project. Centered. We had 7mm for our band plus 5mm on either side. Either side is 5 and 5 is 10 and 17. 17mm. There we go. And yeah, I'm gonna extrude this first. Distance to object. I think I'll extrude it to there first, and then come up a bit more. Let's say another 20mm, and we'll make it a little knob to help us pull back. Uncentric. And well, let's see what looks good, I guess. Let's start out there. So that's going to be something. It's going to be a thing. And actually, this one, let's make it look a little interesting. All right, cool. And finally, we come back to that first sketch we did. Second sketch we did. Grab that. Symmetric. Distance all. Okay. There we go. Body. Okay, so rubber band wraps around here. I'm torn between... Yeah, you know what? We'll go ahead and put a little tab on the bottom here. It's one of those things. Originally, I was going to literally just have the rubber band in the way in front here. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but that does get in the way of our confetti, so maybe I changed my mind on that. But point being is that you pull this back and then it launches. It fills up the tank with air. The air goes through a significantly smaller area, which should increase the pressure, and therefore we get a bigger pop on our party popper. That is the concept here. The only question is again, I was just gonna have the rubber band wrap around here. I definitely am thinking that I don't like that. So you know what? Is it really that big of a deal? Is the question I'm coming to. The other thing is, the other way we can do this is we can cut the rubber band in half, go around, and then just glue it to the outside here. Or clamp it, physically clamp it. Those are two options. So or knot it. We could also knot it. I don't think it's that big of a deal to put the things at the bottom down here just so that's easier to print. So that's what we'll do. So, project out that rim. Project out that edge, and that edge. Okay. Look at. Turn everything off. Rotate. Just because it's easier for me. And now we just need to make sure to be in line with that. And I guess we will do this. Do it this way. Center up like that. Tangent there. Well, let's make that 7 for right now. Tangent there. I'm going to make all this construction lines, and then... Actually, not that guy. Not that guy. And then we will toss another one in here. And this way we can use that guy as a reference. Ah, don't do that. I was nearly there. Alright, cool. Again, using that guy as a reference was the whole entire point, so collinear, collinear, and now we just need to decide how far out we want to go. Again, I'm thinking that, actually, you know what? It occurs to me that if I'm going to do the tie-off, which is what I was thinking for that entire sketch, it would make more sense to go this way and draw it like this. So, project. Okay, and actually, so long as I keep this right focus right here, we don't even need to worry about where the rubber band is. Oh, hold on. Yes, if I have the right orientation, then it doesn't matter what where the rubber band is. That would be the correct statement. This is the correct orientation, so yeah, I will keep that solid. Turn that off. Center this. Center this. And then it's just a matter of size. Actually, do I want to center it? We don't necessarily need to. I just need to make sure that... The only thing I really need to make sure is that we have a little bit so it's not all overhang. So let's go ahead and do this way then. Just decide on what my radius here is, which I think I'm going to go with 14, and then let's grab a tangent line just as a reference. And Fusion, thank you for the 2 lines. I only wanted 1. There's that. We have this at... Let's do that. Actually, no, don't do that. That is incorrect. Unless I do this. If I do that, then I can do 45. Yeah, and then I can toss this here. There we go. And that should be... So at the point tangent right here, basically what happens here, and I'm just going to give this a random number. Actually, let's instead do that. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, never mind. It is getting a random number. So at that point, the line tangent to the circle is 45 degrees. So that's my overhang there at the very bottom. And then it gets less and less overhang as we go up. So the maximum overhang is going to be 45 degrees at that point, which determines how far down the circle sits. If I want to change this to 30, then we can do that. This 30 is technically speaking, a 60. It's technically this overhang here. So that would be the most that I would want to do. I normally don't go above 60 degrees. But for this one, we'll go 45. And then we can just extrude that. Body. This is going to be a little interesting how I want to do this. I think I'm going to just extrude it and then cut it back out is how I think I'm going to do it. Just to keep things simple. Huh, okay, actually. One-sided. Let's see how this works. Is there something I can grab here? Reference off of. I don't think there is. I don't think I have any useful sketches to reference off of. Okay, we're just gonna go. Never mind. To object here is what I was thinking. Well, part of what I was thinking. Join. Mirror. That guy. That guy. And then cut that back out. Number 1. Distance to object. Whoops. Distance to object. There we go. Cut. Alright, and now we have little tabs to tie the rubber band off to. And we're not interfering with this. The last thing that we can do, or that we should do rather, is we need something to... I mean, it's one of those deals, right? The party popper... Yeah, okay. Well, technically speaking, we need a lid is what we need. We don't really want to 3D print the lid because that could... do we? I mean, if it's like a millimeter thick, is it really going to be a problem? I just didn't want to have something that is going to stop it from functioning, was my only real problem. And that's why I didn't want to really 3D print it. I figured I'd grab your typical, what do you call it? Gift present wrapping tissue paper, that's what it is. Grab a piece of tissue paper and tape it over top was what I was thinking. Which is why I hadn't addressed it up until this point. I just figured grab some tissue paper, tape it over top. But if we just have a... I mean, heck, a 0.4 millimeter disc. Is that really that big of a deal? Is that really weighing anything? The only question would be whether or not it falls out too easily. So when you tape a piece of tissue paper over top of this, the tissue paper in theory should hopefully break. And that's what lets it out instead of the tape breaking. That's the idea. Whereas this, the seal that it has on here would be the thing breaking. And the only real question is whether or not that actually stays in and does anything. So long as you hold this thing upside down the whole entire time it's full, then no big deal. But the second you flip it upside down, then if this cap falls out, that might be a problem. Well, not might be, that would be a problem. So, I think I'm going to recommend... Whoops. Control Z. Cancel. Over here, please. Thank you. I think I'm going to recommend just doing the tissue paper thing. But, as an option, here's a little cap. So, let's save this. New Year's Party Popper. Save. Save, and let's look at the... print time for this one. This should be a good bit smaller, so this may be more feasible. Party Popper. Nope. Actually, you know what? I guess it's bigger than I realized. Alright, everything does fit though, which is nice. Let's turn this guy off. And then let's see what it complains about on overhangs here. Alright, and the bottom. How bad is the overhangs? Oh, that's right. Because of these circles. So I could fill these circles in like I normally do, and then we just have to drill them out with the a 3mm drill bit. If we wanted to do this without infill. At the moment, this is once again 3. So 340 evidently is the number to beat so far. If I recall correctly, that's the exact same number, and 8 hours was the exact same time, or very close to the same time, as the ratchet thingy. The ratchet noisemaker. So that's where we're at with that. But if I... Whoops, not that button. Supports, build plate only. Slice. If we do this... Oh my goodness, why do you want to... That's not that bad of an overhang. Why do you want to add in... Wow. Really? You're that scared of that overhang? Hold on. Enforces only. Grab that. Paint. Smart fill. Underside here. Slice. Yeah, okay, see? So this is what I don't get. Is you see how it's all orange right here? It's not showing any overhang on the underside of this, but for some reason the second I gave it the option, it was like, yeah, let's totally add. So the support material added an extra 40 cents-ish and an extra half hour of print time. Oh no, hour and a half. Hour and a half of print time. So I think it'd probably be better just to adjust the print and drill it out. I don't think that the support material and the print time is worth it. So do that. Oh, actually, I'm going to have to grab a sketch of that, I realized, because we don't actually have all the holes on one sketch. Point being. Turn off the body, turn off that guy, extrude all these holes, turn the body back on, minus point, let's call it 0.2. It's one of those things, we only need one layer, is all we need. It's funny how that's still visible. Alright, turn everything back on. Save. Export it. Save as mesh. There we go. Save. Yes, replace it. Technically it should have been version 2, but this actually works out in my favor. So we reload from disk. There we go. Turn the supports off. Slice. Do. Okay, yep. Drew those guys. Oh, that's right. I should have gone from the bottom. My bad. That is incorrect. Okay, I lose. From object. Turn you off. Grab that. And we want to go plus 0.2 now. Join, turn you back on. Let's save. While that's updating, we'll delete all that. Come back here. Now we can save it as version 3. Save, hop in there. And delete version 1. Hop in version 3. No. Minimize. Sidebar. Whoops. Give me my sidebar back. Where's my sidebar? View. That. That one. Arrange. Slice. Oh, that's funny. What happened there? What happened here? Huh. Okay. So it's not actually seeing that. This is version 3 that I loaded up. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm just not paying any... Nope, okay, yeah, it's just plain not seeing the holes at 0.2 millimeters. So because I print with a 0.6 millimeter nozzle, I normally do them at 0.4 when I fill in the holes. I guess I should probably stick with that for forever at this point, because evidently Fusion does not pick up. Yes, replace it, and then I'll save, and we can hop back over here and reload as previously discussed. Reload. Alright, cool, it sees it now. Turn you off. Slice. It's one of those things. This really shouldn't change anything compared to the very first print. At least I don't think it should. I don't think it should change anything based on the first print. So we added a penny. It was 340 exactly, if I recall correctly, and no change in printing time, which is what I expected. So it just makes it a lot easier to print this. Again, the overhang may be kind of bad, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to be a problem. So that is the second of, well, technically the third of 3. Whoops, I did not save that. Obviously we bailed on the second one, so let's go ahead and make the hand clapper instead. We'll go from the front here. Let's draw in some fingers. One of those funny things where I'm sure I'm overthinking this. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so we got the thumb and then we got that, and that should be lower than that one. The ring finger should be, you know, in between the middle finger, and I'm pretty sure that I'm definitely overthinking that. And the plastic hand clappers, people just make however the heck they feel like it. I'm doing a quick Google search. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm seeing some of these images where it's just where every single last finger is the same size. So yeah, definitely overcomplicating things. We toss the palm in here. We will go ahead and toss some guidelines in. And Fusion, if you would kindly stop hating me, that would be great. Thank you. Alright, next song. This one's kind of boring. Boink. Or at least, it is not exactly what I'm in the mood for right now, at any rate. There. Question is how big to make this. That's another question. So, palm size. Whoops, that is not palm size. Palm size. I'm kind of thinking... Actually, we might run into a problem where it doesn't fit on the bed. Is actually my concern at this point. Actually. Let us... it feels kind of lame to make it smaller than 75. I'm going to go with 75, and I'll cry about it later if it doesn't fit. And then each of these will be 25. Actually, yes, I will go ahead and individually label these instead of doing them separately, just because that does give me the ability to adjust it later on. Adjust the size later on if I want to. $30, $60, $75. So the thumb looks right here. Maybe it doesn't. Looking over at the Google research. Noisemaker, clapper. Yeah, okay. You know what? The more... So I was looking at just a generic noisemaker result tab. They do have it somewhat realistic. I mean, it's really not that realistic, but the hand shape. It is definitely a hand shape, so... let's see. This, then, in that case, should come off the base of the hand. Is really how that should work. I'm going to delete this guy, which is going to screw everything up, but that's okay. And bring him straight down the center and through the center line there. And then we can draw this in. I'm going to use the center of that for that. Whoops, for that. And then we will go ahead and draw that at 70. The next question is, they do make these kind of roundish. So maybe I should use splines for this. Let's do this. And what if I do this? Does this look terrible? We will find out. Okay. You know what, Fusion? Stop being a jerk. Thank you. Yeah, it's not quite right. Okay. So... $75, $65. Whoops, that said 68, 65. $70, 60. Okay, let's turn these guys off. And you 75. It's one of those things. He doesn't really. This guy probably has to come in. 40. There we go. Okay, and now on to the actual splines as I was talking about. Okay. You guys need to be tangent. Tangent to that. Huh. Why aren't you letting me move you? Okay. That's fine. I'm just gonna manually try to get you in place instead of trying to constrain you. As I said, they're a little bit funny looking, the ones I was looking at. They don't, like they have this kind of flared out aspect to them, kind of cartoony. Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. They're kind of cartoony fingers, where they get kind of narrow in the middle here, and then have big lugs on the end. At least the ones I was looking at. Actually, you know what? Let's only do every other. How about we do that? Sever the thumb. The thumb's going to have to be that way, but we have these lines in here, these center lines in here, so may as well use them. Mirror that guy to that. Whoops. That guy to that guy, rather. Mirror that guy to that guy. And I felt like this guy needed to come out a little bit. And I'm not sure if that... Okay, it does. Alright, good, good, good. I wasn't sure if I was creating profiles here, but yeah, it doesn't look like I do have closed profiles. Whoops. Stop, stop, stop. Yep, closed profile. Next up. Thumb looks good, I think. The pointer finger. Maybe... Yeah, I mean, it is basically comes down to... Let me really quick see something IRL. If I do that... Alright, let me take a quick look at another one of those pictures. Close that, close that, close that, close that. Okay, here you go. So you see what I'm looking at because I keep on going off screen. You see how they kind of come in, like I was talking about? The center part does look like a full circle to me, which is what I was going to check. It's a little off on some of these, but you can more or less see where it's just kind of a round circle. Which is why I kind of felt okay. It's just, I guess I moved the pointer finger a little too far over. I guess the pointer finger is a lot closer than I was giving it credit for. So, let's change you back to 30. Whoops, attempt to change you back to 30. 30, there we go. Drag this in. And then we're going to have to change this to 70 like the other side. And the pinky. So granted, the pinky is also kind of off center, kind of like the thumb. If I pull those clappers back up, it's kind of towards the center on these guys as well, you see? So, I mean, it's not anatomically correct, which is something I've said like 3 or 4 times now, that the fingers on these clappers are not anatomically correct to begin with. Yeah, I guess I just live with it. Okay, fair enough. Alright, let's get this extruded and... Oh, well, actually, first, let's toss another center line down here. Make you solid. Make you another center line down here. And we want this to be... I'm going to say 75 again. Based on that hand, I'm not so sure. Okay, the stems are kind of short. $190, huh? 190 overall for that one. What are we at right now? And this is plus 12, so we're at 100 and we're at 200, just about 200 with that extra 12.5. Actually, I can math. That's literally 200. Okay, so we are actually, with 75 down here, precisely where that other hand is at. Well, plus 10 millimeters, but we're basically right there. Again, the stem, the stem does look longer. I mean, at first I was looking at, and I was looking mostly at this guy right here because he's the first one on the list, and that guy does feel like he has a little bit of short stem, like we do. I guess the hands are... Ooh, excuse me. Yawning now is not a good sign for staying up till midnight. Chances are these hands are a little bit smaller. I mean, that's 140 millimeters right there. These hands are probably smaller than we're making our hand. Back to this 75 across that I had. So, I'm a little concerned if I change this right now, that it's going to screw up my fingers. It kind of does. You see how this guy got twerked? So let's just drop everything down and see what happens. The thumb is way out now. Yeah, chances are we're just going to have to redesign everything. Which I'll cry about. Trust me, I will. This guy comes down in here. This guy. You need to come back out. And you are all sorts of funky. Okay, and now we can up this by another little bit and keep our 200 millimeters. And I think I am just going to go ahead and spline this one as well. And you are straight across. You are... I'm going to say I kind of almost feel like 15 is what I need. So again, if my 30 millimeters is right, that I kind of was going off of for the handle. Actually, you know what? It occurs to me that these are things that you kind of hold in your fingers, you know? You kind of pinch them between your fingers. Let me pull up. You know, like this handle, you see... Alright, ignore that idiot right there, because he obviously... Or that guy. He obviously doesn't know what he's doing. None of these people know what they're doing. Never mind. Don't contradict me, images. I was kind of thinking that the handle could be a little small, alright? But back to, if that is the case... Ooh, what's this one say on width? 35 across. Well, we're at 60 right here, so that's already off. Alright, whatever. This is 15. It is now the correct size. Move on with your life. Select that. Okay. And now we extrude. Actually, let's just extrude like this. Symmetric. Symmetric, please. Overall. I am going to go 6 millimeters, I think. 9 millimeters. 9 millimeters? Is that really... No, I'm going to stick with the 6 that I was talking about before. Alright, so we're going to go 6, and then we're going to hollow this out, because I'm pretty sure that's how these guys work. Okay, you know what? That looks really, really bad. Now that I have that extruded. I mean, actually, that does look more or less like that now, doesn't it? It does not look nearly as bad as I thought it did after reviewing the other ones, but I am going to come back in here. We are going to do this. Do this. Actually, I probably should have. Yeah, okay. Delete that. Not mirror. Spline. Spline, spline. Give me spline. Alright, there we go. We lost our pinky. That's fine. Okay, and now that I've done that, we can drag this down like this. Oh, I see what's going on here. Drag this down like this. Actually, Control Z. It's probably, I probably want to select drag, I guess. And drag the whole entire thing down, if it will let me. Okay, it doesn't want to let me. Okay. I kind of wanted to move it all as a unit. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. And then we just make it a little bit skinnier, which I think I can do like this. Handle. Maybe fix the thumb. Thumb in here. Yeah, actually, this is just too far out. Just plain too far out. This one, the pinky down a little bit. Pinky down a little bit. And let's fix this while we're at it. And now that those guys are both fatter, now it feels like the middle fingers are a little too skinny. I wonder if I actually made it worse. Alright, well. $2. We're trying to... Actually, this is 2-piece. Hold on. 2-piece just means that it's made of 2 pieces, right? Yeah, okay, it's made of 2 pieces. Okay. So. Actually, isn't that 3 pieces? That looks like 3 pieces to me. I'm looking at, the point being is I'm trying to look at price. I think we're trying to beat $2 here. That looks like what we're trying to beat to me. What is this 9 centimeter? That looks like 9 centimeters deep, but I'm... Huh? When fully open, maybe, I guess. Okay. Huh. Ha ha ha. Okay. Our hand is kind of foobarred. I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. So, here's the deal. What I was thinking I was doing is actually not going to work the way I thought I was going to do it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to reshape this. Let us go one-sided, distance 3 millimeters. Okay, make sure I'm looking at this in the correct direction. Okay, yes, so that is the outside right there. So shell that out to here. Okay, we're going to mirror that. Oh, bodies. That would explain that one. Join, and then we will re-extrude out, sketch, everything. Actually, that is not going to work if we have that. There we go. Symmetric. So this was my idea. It occurs to me that that is not going to print terribly well. At this point, that occurs to me. Because that is literally all overhang. I mean, I was just going over the fact that that's how these guys are made, you know? They're hollow on both sides. Except for the two-piece clapper, obviously. That is a little bit problematic. Maybe we make ourselves a two-piece clapper instead of a three-piece clapper like I was planning on doing. Simply because of the print limitations. Huh. Do we have any alternatives? If I made this two pieces and then stuck them together, that would be the alternative. That's not a great alternative. It's really not that great. I've kind of got this idea of making the handle solid and then doing what I was just talking about. Plugging the two pieces into the two top pieces into the handle. Huh. So, hear me out here. Is this really that unstable? Or 0.75, I guess. Join. Join. So, is this really that bad? Mirror bodies, that their new body. So we got two bodies there. And then we It's not necessarily more printing, in my defense. Let's see. The front and back clappers. So the inside, I kind of get the impression is like only 3mm thick-ish. The front and back clappers, however, look a lot thicker and they're a lot lower wall. So that's something I'm going to need to keep into account. The next thing I'm looking at here, because I'm trying to move swiftly on, is this clip and this hinge. I don't actually want to make that hinge because it's really not going to hold up to 3D printing. So what I want to do is make a clip that goes around here. Back to the drawing. So a clip that goes onto this to help hold these guys together, but an actual C clip, a C style clip for the clapper hand. Now what that means is that things are going to get a little weird here, but I think it's workable because basically I'm going to just use a square reference here. Project that. Make that. Do I want this? Yeah, so we'll just make this like 5mm and construction line. And it can go probably in line with that wrist joint right there for the time being until I decide that I need it otherwise. But this piece, this hand piece is going to be printed on the floor, right? So if we have a snap-in, the snap-in is going to want to go with the hole opening this way. And let's make this 1.5. Tangent here. Should be centered on that circle, yeah. Tangent here. And let's call it 3mm. Attempt to call it 3mm. So, the reason why I was saying this gets a little bit weird is because this joint going to here has to come off at an angle here. This, however, this is the hand, the front hand mock-up. This wants to be printed flat against this back here, but the way it connects to this circle wants to come back here like this. So from here to here. Right? So that's how the connection joint more or less wants to look. Again, just as a rough idea. We'd get something more specific when we actually get there. But as you can see, that is below the back portion where it's actually connected. Now, obviously, this can go tangent to here. That does help things. But again, because the clip-in part that would go inside here. Actually, you know what? I guess... Yeah, so I guess it can work because we don't need to fill the whole entire clip-in part. It actually would probably still rotate just fine. It might get caught. It might get caught, but it might rotate acceptably enough with less than that. So if it just came straight down like this and then was this inside circle here, this edge, I'm just a little concerned about getting stuck in here. That's my only real concern. It might be doable. Let's see what happens. All right, so the size of that, let's call it like 4. Actually, you know what? If we call that 4, then I guess that does work out, doesn't it? Yeah, that would work out. Okay. I was thinking we would want it a little bit bigger, which again, now we're getting to this area. Although if that circle is always tangent to this wall, that means that we can go up to 5 and we're still safe. So I may be overthinking things right here. I definitely may be doing that. Yeah, you know what? I think I am overthinking things. Let's see. The only question is I went ahead and quinky-dinked this right here. Maybe won't want the hinge point or the bottom of the hand down a little bit more. All right, so there's that. Let's go down 3 millimeters. And then some clearance space. Tangent to that. And there we go. All right, all right, all right, all right. There is that. Oh, I have this sketch in the wrong place. Good. Good, good, good. Oh, I see why, though. I understand why I put it in the wrong place, though. Because I was going to get this in here first. I wanted to have that as an idea of where I wanted to put that, but I wanted to come in here, project this out, and then draw in the bottom of the hand right here. This is what I wanted to do first. Although that doesn't look like... So that's 2 millimeters. What's my offset? My offset here should be 3, shouldn't it? I mean, it's saying 3.15 or 0.15, which, okay. I guess I'll just delete that and go off the other one. I wonder why it's giving me that weird artifacting. The whole entire thing has been weird so far today. What is going on here? Turn off. Turn off. Huh. There is something extremely odd going on here. It's not giving me the extra profile. Why is it not giving me the extra profile? Interesting. Okay, finish. Delete. Obviously something is going wrong here, so we're going to start over again. Which way is the hinge facing? Okay, so the hinge is facing towards the back, so I guess we're just going to make the backhand first. That is fine, I'll survive. Am I not clicking that? It's possible that I'm not clicking this origin correctly. That is one possibility why I'm getting the weird artifacting. Turn that origin off. That may be the other reason. Grab this body. Project out that and that edge. Okay. Turn that body back off. Still getting this artifacting. Which, hold on, let's try. Yeah, see it, huh. I wonder why it is so foobarred right now. Like, I should be able to project out that body. Okay, so that works. project out that edge. Just extrude the edge. Okay, that works. So why is it being so funky here? Okay, we are not going to worry about it. We are going to go on living our lives and live with the consequences if something goes wrong. All right. To there. To there. Extrude. Why is this open? That does not make any sense at all. Finish. You know, I'd be done by now if Fusion wasn't terrible. What if I... Nah, yeah, see, I want the profile. I definitely want the profile. I was gonna say, what if I don't take the, what if I use the body instead? But... Why are you doing this, Fusion? Finish, save, New Year's hand clapper, save, close, 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 open back up. But where are you at? There it is. Obviously I can't see it. Okay, come back in here to sketch. That is the front. We don't want the front, we want the back. The sketch was made on the back plane, so I don't know why it wanted to turn me around there. Turn just one body on. Which body is this one? Okay, that is the body that's facing us, it looks like. We grab that. We grab that. Okay. We get the artifacting, but we can extrude one at a time. Okay. Turn the body off. Put our sketch in here. Extrude. Can no longer extrude one profile. Why? And why do I have these extra lines off here? How does this make any sense? Alright, delete construction plane. Let's just move this out like 170 millimeters. Project. So now we are definitely not getting interference with the body. Control Z. Hop into the hair to hand. Use that construction plane. Okay, so we're definitely not intersecting this body. We 100% are not intersecting this body at this point. This is the hand that is facing us, so we are not grabbing the front face. That is not a thing that is happening right now, and we are still getting the artifacting, which means that this is not going to work anyway. Yeah, why? This has, at this point, I made sure that the plane was completely off it, because sometimes Fusion will overlap your planes with your bodies, which is really stupid and really shouldn't happen, but sometimes it uses the body's profile intersection inside of the sketch, which again should not happen, but it does it anyway. Okay. So, as I was saying that, I had one more thing that I probably should have done to begin with. And I'm feeling a little bit stupid for not doing that to begin with, but if I do this, we shouldn't actually have that problem. I don't know why we had the problem going the other way. There, there, there. Okay. Yes, that does work. So this body is based on this plane right now. So there shouldn't be a problem where if this, for example, if this body has some draft, I could see that being a little bit of issue. If this had some draft and the lines were just slightly offset. The lines are not slightly offset, so doing both profiles shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, just now it occurred to me that I didn't necessarily need both profiles, but in my defense, that also shouldn't have been a problem. As I said, this is something that never should have been an issue to begin with, because all the lines are in exactly the same place. What the crap did you just do? Why did that hand disappear? Okay. We're back to the beginning. Both hands are here. None of them are dead. I'm going to delete this plane like I did before. Okay, that's good. Nothing broke. The construction plane is not here, so that's fine. Okay. Hopefully, it doesn't automatically delete itself again on me. And we will move on to it with our lives. Okay. There. Please parallel, thank you. 3mm, okay. Turn those bodies off so I don't accidentally grab those profiles. There we go. Now turn that body back on. From object, that guy right there. And then, like I said, it looked a little bit deeper. So I'm going to go 5 there, and then we'll finish extruding the rest of that profile. Turn the body off so we don't actually grab it. And then bodies from object. 3mm. Although, again, it did look pretty thin, so maybe we should go 1mm here. Okay, and then so that is that. We need to come up here, grab that profile, turn that body on, and actually I should also, let's come back in here, project out that, okay, and drag this straight down to those guys. That way it's all connected nice and neat. There's that. There's, whoops, there is that. Come out here, please. Tangent, okay. Tangent, okay. And finish, extrude. From object, that to object, that, join, I kind of had a feeling that was going to be a little bit of a problem. So, two-sided, to object. Let's see if I can get it work. Just grabbing something random, you know? If there's any profile that it likes. Extent. If I change it to extent, will it work? Wrong profile. There we go. Alright, nope. Is not going to work. So, one of those things, it doesn't necessarily matter. I just wanted to make it, you know, nice and neat, but we can just have it, like, fully connected is what I mean. We can just have it a number. Doesn't necessarily matter. Okay, so we join that. Body 1. We are body 1, right? Yeah, we are body 1. So this body 2. Yes, I can get rid of it for right now. Okay, good. Good. Didn't break anything. What is unconstrained over here? I don't think anything should be under constrained. Sketch dot show under constrained. 2 points, huh? What is selected? I don't see what is selected. Is it something up here? Oh, okay. That guy. I gotcha. There we go. Okay, so back into the hand. Turn that sketch back on. Get a new sketch, just so that we don't have to worry about as much. Project out. Turn the body off. That guy and that guy and that guy. Okay. Excuse me. And then we just need to connect these guys up, and then we will do our little bit of magic to make sure. So back to, I don't really want this accidentally colliding with the front part, right? So I don't want, when we extrude this profile, to it connect right here against here. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of offset here to make sure that doesn't happen. It doesn't have to be much. 0.5. And then this guy, boink, can go here. That's fine. We got evidently more than one line, because of course we did. Turn the body off. Thank you. Make you tangent. Okay. And I think I should be fine with that. I don't think I really need or want anything else. Actually, you know what? Let's make that a little bit skinnier. That way I don't have to have it. So basically, as you can see, I'm going to connect this down here. Actually, so here's what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna come from this edge was my plan. Come from this edge and then extrude out the circle across. That was the plan. So, oh, wait a second. This body was 5 millimeters, and then we want 1 millimeter. So this body is actually 6 millimeters. So let us change that back to 4. I'm trying to think how I really want to do this, because it would be nice if this followed that curve. It's just a little bit difficult to do. I guess it's not that difficult. Okay. Let me have this back. Project out that sketch, the bottom of that sketch. And then I can draw another line in here. Again, parallel for these guys, please. Thank you. Turn that sketch off. There. And then turn that body off so that we don't get confused. There and there. Finish. Extrude. That and that. Distance from object. Distance to object. I could combine this with the other extrusions. I'm choosing not to. And then in here, in this sketch, draw this one back in here and extrude that out. Distance all, symmetric. And let me make sure that does what I think it did. It does not appear to have done what I thought it did. Oh, step forward one. Okay, it did leave a curve, annoyingly enough. What that means is... I'm not entirely sure why it left a curve, but... because that's straight in line with that. Control Z. Let me move this guy back before that sketch. Turn that body off, that sketch off. Fix that. Manage the last possessions, edge. Use this edge right here. Relink, please. Thank you. Okay. So, project, or look at rather. And you are now officially in the wrong direction. Let's turn the body off so that we don't screw this up accidentally. Oh, I see what happened. I grabbed the wrong edge. My bad, my bad. Manage body. It really should have been that edge right there. Because we wanted something going across. Turn the bodies off. Whoops, that's not the bodies, that's the bodies. I guess it was supposed to be the other one. Sue me. We will get this correct eventually. Tangent. Can't be tangent. This guy, though, can, because he is 0.5 off. And, whoops, tangent is what I wanted. There we go. Let us zoom in here. Right, so there is that. That is a full profile. Now, if I turn this body on, it, as you can see, is exactly in place with that line. Like it's supposed to be, but... if I finish... okay, now it looks correct. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care. It occurs to me now that I probably should have given myself this built-in, this space built in to this sketch right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So instead of tangent, and this shouldn't screw anything up because 0.5, because everything else is a profile. Okay, it looks like it did. So let's come back up here to bodies. Turn this hand off. Okay, that does look correct. So chances are the same thing that broke before just broke again. Or not. Oh, right. Not tangent because it's no longer there. Fusion, please. Let me fix the profile, please. Fusion, fusion, fusion. Delete. What is it? Compute fail. Oh, okay. So it's a compute fail, but where? Where's the compute fail? It literally is not on the screen. Okay. Okay, Fusion. Project that. Actually, project this body. Turn that off. Project this face. Okay. Grab my 0.5 here. Actually, before I screw this up again, this guy, instead of that line, let's delete that and project out the bottom of the circle instead. That would make more sense. And then go through the bottom of the circle. Finish. Alright, cool. Come back over here. And we want... I guess I want... We can delete that because this is now guaranteed because we added the 0.5 offset to the actual clip itself. We no longer need the 0.5 offset on this sketch. Bodies, turn off. Thank you. So we only need to do that. So let us get that fixed first. So we want to delete that material, please. Distance all symmetric. Okay, there we go. And then we can also do Control Z, this material over here. And then we can extrude that out from object there, distance to there. What's the problem, Fusion? What's the problem? Distance to object. Alright, I guess you lose, Fusion. I guess you lose. We are going to just, from object here, distance to object there, and join. There we go. So it's going to look a little bit ugly, but we will deal with it because Fusion doesn't want to cooperate. Okay. So there is that. So that is one hand. Now, because I built this clip into here, which is something I decided on the fly, on these other ones, I went ahead and, on these other ones, yeah. On these other ones, they actually have a separate clip, basically, that goes all the way around and then these things clip in. You know, that's how these guys work. I decided I didn't really want to do that because I wanted to have a hinge in here anyway. And if I'm going to have a hinge in here anyway, may as well make it part of this. Now, the one problem that does bring up is that I was thinking about using the clip, if it went all the way around, to hold these two pieces together, the front and back. Because, again, just for the record, actually, let me do this. Create a new component. handle. So the idea was to grab this and mirror it, and then hold all this together in the middle. Because again, it can't be printed otherwise. This, since we no longer are going around the outside, can't hold together right there. It probably wasn't going to work terribly well to begin with, which is why I'm kind of okay getting rid of it. So, one of these deals where I guess the best way to go about this is either I'm just so that we can have little knobs for them to press together, just like this, just like the Ratchet Maker has these little knobs to hold it together. Could do that. Might be the quickest and simplest way to do it. Let's see. The one problem I'm running into right now is that now that we mirrored these, which was the intention, I guess instead we're gonna have to do this in order to break the connection. So hop here, whoops, Control Z. Component, okay. And then in here, mirror this guy on the back, okay. And then, whoops, Control Z. Mirror, I wanted body, that's what went wrong here. Mirror the body on the back, wrong side, there we go. New body, okay, and then remove the first body. Wait. What happened? Where'd my body go? Okay, there's my body. Where's this body at? How? How does that make any sense? Oh my goodness. Alright. New body. Try that again. Remove body. Okay. Now we should be able to modify that. Okay. So, we will go ahead and hop up here. And project. Actually, before I do that, let's make those like that. Okay, there we go, all set up, and then we just toss in. I think this makes sense. Just use the center points all here as connection points. Don't have a center point down here, so we'll just make a couple. And then just decide that these are like 5 millimeters. Everything can be the same size. And 10, 35, and that will be good. So we just take these guys. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? It occurs to me that this is not going to work. Um. Never mind, that's not going to work. I thought that was going to be simple, and then I realized that is not. So. I was going to extrude out a peg on each side, as previously discussed, but that does not work. Which means that this is going to have to be a... Is there a way to make this work? The reason why this guy works is because these are printed in two different directions. Well, actually, this one's just plain flat, so this is a bit of a different situation. But. This is printing face up, so these little tabs that are coming out are going in the same direction. Both of these guys are printing opposite of the way the peg would have to go in order to interact with the other side. So for that reason, it's not going to work. So. I'm trying to figure out where this last sketch is open. There it is. My option at this point, it looks like to me. Why are you guys? Oh, because you guys aren't actually in line. That's right. Do this. And you guys should be stuck now. Yeah, you should be constrained. Oh, okay. You are not actually on the line. That is why. There we go. My option at this point is to use little pegs and just print out a series of little pegs and adding them as another component, which I'm not super happy about. I'm not really seeing a great way of clipping these guys together. You can do it on the bottom. You can add a clip on the bottom to hold them together, but then the tops are kind of floppy. You know what? Maybe that's better than these pegs, though. It's one of those deals that may just be the least of all evils, is to add in some clips around the bottom edges and use those. I mean, actually, I didn't want to do this. I was avoiding this option, but it really is the simplest solution, which is to use super glue. The simplest solution really is just to use super glue. Get these guys, line them up, and then glue them together. And I think that's probably what I'm going to suggest doing here. So. There is the clapper then, in that case. I can't, it's one of those things. The other solutions that I can think of right now are really not good enough. Even if I took this center clip, pulled it out of the hand, and ran it straight through both hands, and then somehow had a backup so that it doesn't slip out. And by somehow, I mean that's not terribly difficult to do. I've done it on other designs, but even if I did that, the bottom and the top above it would still be super flimsy to begin with. So I really do, at this point, this is the best solution I can think of, is just to glue the two halves together. And as a bonus alternative here, you could just print out this one half and just use the one half, right? Maybe it would be better if you did use only 1/2 for the bottom to be a little bit thicker. But I think I'm going to go ahead and call this done. So for the last time today, let's go ahead and see what the print looks like on this. Finish updating, and then there we go. Save mesh, save. Prusa slicer. Downloads. Clapper. No. Alright, and everything just needs to go down onto the print bed. Turn one of these off. Whoops, wrong button. There's that. And you can be turned back on. And this probably isn't all going to fit on the print bed, but we'll do it in 2 halves and see what happens. So, slice. So that is 66 cents in 2 hours. And the other half of it is, let's see, that one, that one, that one. Arrange, slice. 71 cents. So that is $1.30 altogether, $1.37 altogether, and 4 hours of printing, which is the most affordable of all of the things we did today. So that's cool. Does also require some super glue, but that is not that big of a deal. So still have 2 hours till what do you call it? Ball drop. 2 hours is enough to print out 1/2 of this. So if I wanted to print out 1/2 of this for New Year's, I could. And they will all get printed out just so that I can confirm that they work, because we did spend time designing these, and they'll eventually go up on Thingiverse. So when that happens, I will update you guys with that information and the link to Thingiverse. Otherwise, guys, this year has been pretty light. I'll probably talk about it a bit more in, I think February is my anniversary, in my channel anniversary for the reboot. Might have been March. May have even been May. I don't know. It's somewhere around there. Anyway, it's somewhere time in the late winter, early spring, I'm pretty sure, is when I started doing videos again on this channel. So technically speaking, we're not through a full year, but it is New Year's. So I'm talking now about how the year went, and we'll talk about it more in the future. But again, obviously I had that bit of a hiatus for like 6 months while I was working on my bench, and had obviously other things going on. But point being, for the new year, I keep on saying this since I've come back from doing the bench, I really need to do more videos rather than streams. So we're going to attempt in this coming year to actually make that a reality. We'll see what happens. Again, more of the reflection stuff probably on another stream closer to my actual anniversary for the streaming, for the new channel update. But for the time being, that is my at least New Year's resolution, is to actually get videos out this year, as opposed to keep on saying that I'm going to get videos out and then stream instead. And yeah, anyway, great to hang out with you guys. Thank you for being here. And I hope you have a great and wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, as well as a wonderful New Year's, wherever you're at in the world. And I will catch you next time.